Stream your favorites and discover more with the Disney Bundle. Watch the new season of Loki on Disney Plus. On Hulu, fear creeps in with the boogeyman. And touchdown with college football on ESPN Plus. All of these and more streaming now. Get the Disney Bundle with plans starting at $9.99 a month. Plans with ESPN Plus starting at $14.99 a month. Terms apply. See DisneyBundle.com for details.
This is a Rogue Media Network podcast.
Benjamin Betts. It's all about the Benjamin Betts, baby. You know what's up? Yes, Benjamin Betts, baby.
All right, we are back, Summoners, for another edition of the Benjamin Betts podcast, League of Legends style here. World Championships going on in Korea. We're moving into day 4 of League of Legends Championships, World Championships. Yesterday, we had 2 best of 3s to determine who moved on to the knockout stages. You know what? We're always gonna tell you when we do well, and I'm gonna tell you when we miss. And last night we didn't do so hot. You know, we picked G2 for the upset. Did not happen. Gen G got a 2-0 sweep there to move on to knockouts. G2 still in it, of course, but we picked them to cover, and they didn't even cover. They lost, and they got slaughtered. So that's okay. Our other matchup, we did pick JDG to move on, but we picked it in a sweep. They did end up winning the series 2-1. So we did get a little bit right there, just not all the way. So, but as we move in here, now we got the 1-1 teams. These are still just one gamers, okay, because they haven't moved into an elimination match yet. So the first one, SKT, Korean Royalty versus Cloud9, the NA upstart, the NA hope. The hope that we just believe that we can do well at Worlds. We have Cloud9 in this. I just have to do it. I think Cloud9 has been playing well. I know they lost their last match. SKT did too and looked a little sloppy. I'm taking Cloud9 in a close game. We're going to get them at plus 9.5 here. That gives us minus 135. I feel like that's pretty good money here. So Cloud9 plus 9.5 in the first game. I do hope they outright win, but I just don't know if that can happen. But I do think they can cover the spread here. Now, moving into the next game, we have some EU-NA matchup here, which is always fun to see at Worlds. It's a little bit more even. NRG versus Mad Lions. Give me NRG again. I'm probably being a little biased here for NA. I know I was rough on them when we were picking our teams at the beginning of Worlds because we just don't show up. But you know what? NRG is going to play well. And we're getting plus 4.5 here. So maybe Mad Lions still pulls the game out, but maybe I think it'll be close. These are 2 evenly matched teams, but NRG could just pull off the upset here too. But give me NRG plus 4.5 against Mad Lions. Now we're moving on. BLG playing Fnatic. We got China versus Europe. BLG heavily favored in this matchup. And you know what? I'm rolling with them. I believe in them. I have not been a believer in Fnatic all tournament. I'm not a believer in them in this match. BLG minus 9.5 is minus 120. We got to cover that. I think we can. Minus 9.5 kills. BLG moves on to 2-1 at Worlds. And then the last matchup, this is going to be wild. KT Rolster against Weibo Gaming. Korea versus China. These matches are always fire. They're hot. KT Rolster is a Korean favorite. The crowds love KT Rolster. You can tell Korea is behind this team. But Weibo Gaming is playing really well. I'm taking them there. We get them at plus 3.5 at minus 110. I'm taking that. Plus 3.5. I think they outright win this too. You get plus 104 if you take them in an outright win, so you get some good value there. But just to cover our bases, we're taking them at plus 3.5 against KT Rolster. Now, this is a great episode because not only are we getting a round of games, we're getting another round because on Sunday, we're moving into, again, a best-of-3 match, but this, instead of determining who goes to knockouts, these matches are determining who goes home. These are elimination games. 0-2, these are the teams that are 0-2. They're matched up against each other. So remember, who moves on to knockout stages? First teams to get 3 wins move on. If you get to 3 losses, You're out of Worlds. So Team Liquid's 0-2 versus GAM Esports, who's 0-2. They're going off against each other. Give me Team Liquid, okay, to get this match. I think NA can survive. Vietnam has played well, but they're going home. But I do think GAM plays a close game one. So give us GAM Esports plus 8.5 at minus 135. And that's in game one. Now, they could still lose this, which they probably will, but I think it's going to be super close. So plus 8.5 GAM Esports. But then game two, give me Team Liquid at minus 7.5. I think Team Liquid gets their act together in game two and pulls off a nice win. This could be the one that clinches. Maybe they lost game one, but they'll win game two. We don't have odds here on game three, but if you're betting live, take game three, Liquid, if it comes down to that. I don't care what the odds are. Take it. Now we're moving on to the last match of the night. Korea's number 4 team, D+, sitting at 0-2. Oh, my goodness, a Korean team is 0-2, facing elimination, but they are playing against a play-in team qualifier in BDS Esports, who's played admirably this tournament. This didn't have the talent level that some of these other regions do. So they're going in here, and this is going to be a clean sweep by D+. We're taking a minus 8.5 in game one, minus 7.5 in game two for a 2-0 sweep. Minus 8.5. They have to get the kills. They have to win by that many in game one and 7.5 in game two. So they're going to sweep BDS here, and it won't be close. They will not go home. This squad is stacked. Showmaker, they have really good players, and to be embarrassed at this point, they may not make it to the knockout stage. I think to dig out of an 0-2 hole is pretty rough, but they're not going to go home this way. So give me D+ in this matchup as well to move on to go back to 1-2 record to then fend for their life again. But we will get there when we get there. So to wrap it up, we got Cloud9, we got NRG, BLG, and Weibo Gaming. Those are our winners for Saturday's games. And then in the best of threes, we got Team Liquid moving on and D+ moving on to the next round. So, or to win this match to move on to the next set of matches. This has been Corey with a little League of Legends special edition on the Benjamin Betts podcast. Thank you for joining us. We will see you next time.
Yeah.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production.
Frozen, heroes. Gonna tell you about Frozen, heroes. Gonna tell you about.
Hey, I'm Zach,
And I'm Mike.
and we have a fantastic new podcast to tell you about. Bros, Foes, and Heroes. It's the two of us looking into the world of comics, breaking down some characters that you may have never heard of, and some that are just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, so Zach comes up with a character each time, and I go into it just completely blind. I don't know who this person is or what their abilities are or anything, and basically I guess we kind of go over their origin story and just some of the ridiculous stuff that maybe, especially Golden Age stuff.
Oh, Golden Age stuff is always the best, and we will make sure to highlight all of the shenanigans and just absolute weirdness of everything.
Yeah, that's right. So subscribe today and follow us on Instagram at Bros, Foes, Heroes.
And if you don't, I know where you live. Not really, but please subscribe.
Frozen, heroes. Gonna tell you about Frozen, heroes. Gonna tell you about.
Hi, I'm Hank. You might remember me from a show called King of the Hill. Check out a King of the Hill rewatch podcast. These boys ain't right, but they are funny. Find the podcast anywhere you get your podcasts or at roguemedianetwork.com. I tell you what.